Hi, my name is Ingrid Hansen, and I'm going to teach a little segment of the Aleutic style basket weaving. And what I'm going to be doing tonight is adding what is called a warp. Sometimes it's called a weaver, and sometimes it's called a spoke. Now, I'm going to be using a basket that I had previously started, and I've got it in kind of a salmon color and light blue here. And so these are my weavers, and you can see that I've got a bunch of spokes, and what I'm doing is I'm adding a spoke to continue making this dimensional and expanding the circle right there. And what I want to do is that here's my basket start there, and I've got a new spoke, it's right here, and I'm going to fold it in half because I want it to be pretty even. And I'm going to draw that to a little bit of a point there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this little weaver right here. Here's my weaving action right here with these two lefts right here. See that? And so the one that I want to weave around next, if I wasn't adding the spoke, would be this one here, right here. But instead of that, I am going to be adding this new warp to the basket. So once again, I'm folding it up because I had dropped it, of course, to show you where I was going to add it. And what I'm doing is I'm adding it right here, right on either side of that spoke. So the new warps are on new warp, old warp, new warp. And so I'm holding that with my finger. You can see my finger is right under there, and my thumbnail is pressing firmly on that, on the center of that basket there, because this is a little bit tricky to do. And you can see that my string was a little lumpy, so I rolled it to compress it. And I'm taking this one underneath that new spoke, and it comes up from the 6 o'clock to the 12 o'clock position. There you go. And I'm grabbing that little strings to make sure that they're staying right and over that way. So there's where I just wove, right there. So that's the new spoke. Now I'm going to do it again. Do another stitch. And I'm sending it down and around. And what I do is I just take my fingers and I tuck it like that. That's a little bit different than, you know, just bringing that string over. But so I do that kind of like little spread finger thing. That's something that I find easy to do, and to me it's a little faster, and I get a nice tension out of it. So that was my next spoke, and that was the old spoke. That's the center one. So now I'm going to go again because I want to make sure that that new string is in there securely. Once again, grab those two strings and I give it a little twist. Pull that guy up, and it goes from the 6 o'clock to the 12 o'clock again. And I normally would have it facing toward me, straight toward me. And I always keep these little strings. The one I just wove is always down below at the 6 o'clock. The two weavers always at the 12 o'clock. That help keeps the basket spokes straight. And I'm also arranging these spokes, twirling them, and then giving them a little bit of tug of pressure just to make sure that it stays even, because it relies on you to monitor that, and then turn this basket a little bit every time you make a little stitch. So I'm going to go one more beyond to make sure that I've got those new spokes securely fastened, because I want to show you something. I want to show you the bottom of this basket. So let me flip it over. So take a look at that. You can see that I actually need to add another little spoke, looks like about right there. So I've got a spoke laying around. Oh, there it is over there. And I could tell that because I've got two different colors. That's another reason to use two different colors, because if you're using one color, it's hard to see this. When you're first learning, it's nice to use two different colors. And so I need to know, I need to add another one right there. You want to watch me do it? It'll only take another little 20 seconds or so, I'm sure. And so here we go. putting the new one around as I did before, making my little point there, sticking them back there. Doesn't have to be totally perfect anyway. And then I'm arranging those little spokes so that we've got a new one, an old one, a new one. So I'm watching that carefully. So I've got my weaver. I always pick up the leftmost weaver, give it a little twirl, send it up. There we go. I give it a little tug, make sure it's set. And I'm watching closely to make sure I pick up the right one. This is the old spoke. There we go, sending it up, giving a little tug, making sure. There we go. And then here's the next one. And I have set the new spoke in. I'm going to go one more to make sure it's set. And there we go. And then when I'm doing this kind of basket with the first set, I go at least 3 more rows. And this dimension on this basket is going to be an inch dowel, and at the edge of just in the inside of the inch, I will be doing the triple twining there. Alright, well that's it. I think you've got a good glimpse. Want to see the inside of that basket to make sure I did it right? Yep, there's all the spokes. They're all perfect. Thanks.